think one of the most important things I ever noticed in life was what I now call the cycle of sabotage. And I was going through it lots and lots of times. You've probably been through it too. And I didn't know it, right? I didn't recognize the pattern. I wasn't aware enough of the cycle of sabotage to even know what was going on. And you just keep going through it and going through it and going through it. And you're wondering, like, man, why aren't things working out for me better than they are? What's going on? Why do I feel unmotivated? Why does life feel so hard, so difficult? Why can't I get the outcomes I want? Oh, it's so frustrating. And I started to notice it in myself. And once I noticed it and started fixing it and took different action, I was like, oh man, instead of just going around and around in this cycle of sabotage, I can make a different decision right here and get a different outcome. And so then I get in the cycle of success and out of the cycle of sabotage. And now I've had the opportunity to work with thousands of men across 5 continents and help them recognize the cycle of sabotage, and then they step out of it, right? And they notice when they get back into it, like, whoa, I'm back in that cycle, let's step out of this. It's so powerful. So there's varieties, right? It looks a little different for everybody, but here I'll give a just an iconic example of one, and you can see how it fits in other aspects of your life. The one I noticed for myself and a lot of good men who, again, good men with achieving success, doing good things. But you're like, oh, I don't feel very motivated. I'm losing motivation. And so they're like, oh, I'm just going to skip the workout. I don't feel like doing the workout, so I don't do the workout. So then they're cycling and they're like, man, the only option around here is fast food. Just stop. Let's stop and get some fast food and stop by the gas station and grab a couple of energy drinks that we know they're not energy drinks. And you grab that garbage and then hit that. And then I don't feel like it. And then you're like, man, I was going to read. I've been reading some good books. Man, I just don't feel like reading right now, and boom, cycle, right? And so you eat junk food, you entertain yourself instead of educate yourself, you skip your workouts instead of hitting them. The laziness comes around. And then guess what? Every time I noticed that I would do those things, or that my clients do those things, guess what? They feel less motivated, and they do it again and then less motivated. And so they they actually create a lack of motivation by the action. And so then it cycles around. And so they don't feel motivated, so they don't do it. And when by not doing it, they don't feel motivated. And so it keeps feeding on itself. And it's this cycle of self-sabotage. And it goes round and round. The same thing works in your marriage, your parenting. Like, oh man, you come home, you're not really feeling it. You just go through the door instead of getting yourself in a great state, ready to show up for your wife and kids, ready to be the family man. You gotta just like, oh, I had a bad day, and you bring home your crap from work, and you're irritable and unpleasant, and you're maybe just kind of snappy, and then your wife says something or doesn't do something you think she should do, and your kids are fighting, and something gets broke or dirty, and you explode, and and then she does that, and so you react, and guess what? She does that thing she does when you react, and then that makes you mad, and so round and round you go with your wife, with your kids, with your coworkers, with your team, with your patients, your customers, your business, your community, whatever. It just goes round and round. And it happens with almost every aspect of our life. There's some kind of cycle of self-sabotage. And oh man, just awareness, just being aware that it's happening can change everything. Because you realize, like, oh man, this isn't random. This isn't happening by chance. Like, I'm stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage. So whenever it's harder to get the outcomes and results you want than it should be, whenever you're feeling unmotivated and it perpetuates, just stop and be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Am I in a cycle of self-sabotage? And then you stop the cycle by just making one decision to do the thing that helps you feel better, that helps you get better results. So with the motivation thing, right? Like, well, man, when do I feel really motivated? Man, I feel fantastic when I eat good food, when I read from a great book or listen to a great book, and when I get a good workout in it. Man, I feel unstoppable. I feel fantastic. So you pick one of them. And remember, like, you're in the cycle of self-sabotage. You don't feel like working out. So you just take it just a little bit of discipline. It's not enough self-discipline to do the whole workout and go all in, change everything. It's just enough self-discipline to start the workout. That's it. Because I've found for me, like, and still like, I would say half the time I don't feel like working out and I don't feel like working out hard, but I'm committed to do it. And within 5 minutes of being in the gym, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I'm pushing hard. I just have to start. I just have to get there. So then I did this great workout. I'm like, yeah, man, I kept my commitment. I hit it hard. I feel pumped. And there's no way I'm stopping at the fast food joint, eat that garbage. I'm not drinking that stuff either. I just worked out hard. I'm not eating that. Boom, there's another burst of motivation and confidence and competence. So then you're like, oh, I'm going to do a cold plunge too. And I'm going to read that book. And instead of just clicking on the radio or just letting my thoughts wander all over the place, I'm like, no, I'm going to listen to a great audiobook or a great podcast, right? I'm going to feed my mind. I'm going to feed my body. I'm going to feed my spirit. And all of a sudden, within a little bit, with just a few simple actions, you feel unstoppable and on fire again. And you can do the same thing in your marriage, in your parenting, in your business. It is so powerful. So if you notice, just my invitation here, look for it, notice it, see where you might be in a cycle of self-sabotage and how you can change it. If you need some help, let me know. This is what I get to do. Every day I get to coach great men to become formidable family men who are totally dialed in, who optimize their lives to consistently get and keep the results they want. Be the man.